Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer and welcome to my daily 10 a.m. video. I want to thank you for tuning into this video. Now look, we are so close to my 47,000 subscribers silver giveaway, which is crazy because I just shipped out the silver to the winners of my 46K giveaway. You guys are just insane. I appreciate the amount of support. We have a lot of stuff to talk about in this video. I have two questions that I want you to answer. Two yes or no questions at that. So the first one is, do you think silver will hit $100? And the second question is, will you still buy it? I'm going to talk about my reasoning for this. I think it's going to be a great video. I found an article talking about how $100 silver could impact the coin market, and it really could, especially since they go back to 1980 when the Hunt brothers cornered the market, and actually what happened leading to that, because silver got banned. You could not buy silver, and that was right while silver was $50. And the government didn't want that. They were like, hold up, this is too crazy. We're going to step in. We're going to take action. Nobody can buy silver, which then collapsed the price, and it was called Silver Thursday. So a lot of stuff happened back then. I made an entire video covering that. But I do want to look at all of these reasons, and these people are extremely bullish, right? They're talking about $50 in 1980. It would be $150 adjusted for inflation. And there's just a lot to talk about, right? So make sure you like this video. Make sure you're subscribed because I post daily videos. I'm always going to give you the inside scoop on the newest information in the world of precious metals. Now, the link to this article will be in the description. So how might $100 silver impact the coin market? Let's look at this. So rising bullion prices have often been a boon for the numismatic coin market. They enable precious metal investors to direct some of the profits from the sale of their bullion holdings to numismatic pieces. And this is another good question. It's kind of what's happening right now. I've been telling people to buy generic silver lately because American Eagles just have too high of premiums. You can get a lot more generic silver than you can buying Eagles. And that usually wasn't the case prior to 2020. American Eagles are now almost looked at as a semi-numismatic coin. I really wouldn't call it that, though. I would call it more for just high premium silver because there really is no numismatic value to American Eagles. So this tends to have a substantial impact on the overall coin market because many large dealers sell both bullion and collector coins, just as many individuals have positions in both areas. Besides, stacking bullion frequently spurs buyers to become interested in coins with numismatic value from low premiums to rare coins. And yes, a lot of us got into silver stacking because of the metal content. But yes, once you get into it, you start to find some higher premium coins, maybe some graded coins that you like. You're just like me, right? Most people do that. And it's not just because you like the coins. There's some benefits that high premium silver has that bullion doesn't, right? It's detached from spot price. So even if spot price stays $26 in the next 10 years, where if you had all bullion, all generics, your stack would have not appreciated a single penny. But pandas, kookaburras, some of these coins, they'll have doubled, tripled in value. So there is some reasoning why people buy standard bullion, but also some higher premium. So now this phenomenon has been seen many times, including during the two major bullion booms of the 20th and 21st century, 1980 and 2011. So this is when the market for collector coins was very strong. At the same time, there was so much action in the bullion market. This was especially true during the more mature market of the 2011 that coincided with the very successful August A&A World's Fair of Money in Chicago, held weeks before gold briefly went over 1900 in early September. As far as bullion is concerned, by this time, investors were buying metals for different reasons than in 1980 when they were mostly trying to get rich quick or cornered or concerned about double-digit inflation. So in 2011, metals were seen as a hedge against a possible U.S. government default and as a way to diversify assets. Gold was no longer mainly for bugs. And this does make a good point, and this is actually kind of debunking what a lot of people thought would happen as the price goes higher with silver. A lot of people say, the numismatic coins, your high premium silvers are relevant because it's all going to be sold at spot price. It's all going to be sold as silver. And yes, that does make sense, But you also got to think, while silver is more popular, you're going to have a lot of different people getting into it. And once they find these cooler coins like you and I, they're going to have the same type of experience. And not only that, a lot of times people buy bullion because it's more liquid, right? But when I have my PF70 Ultra Cameo Panda or any of the grade coins that I have that I like a lot, they're pretty easy to sell on eBay. Now, right now, pandas are a little bit different of a situation because people are mad at China. But regardless, those coins aren't too hard to sell. Now, it depends who you're trying to sell to. You never sell those coins to a local coin shop because they're just going to offer you spot price because they do have the perspective of silver as silver. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people are coin collectors. They like rare coins, and it's also because they know these coins can profit. People like money. So in 1980, as gold and silver headed towards their all-time nominal peaks of $2,000 and $50, respectively, for a speculative fever, news accounts emphasized the long lines of people bringing anything made of either metal to sell, but there was also a lot of activity in the numismatic market, right? People wouldn't think that. You would think that people would just be buying silver as bullion because it's the spot price that is rising. But these coins do rise. The coins that have premiums also do rise as well, which is interesting, and it's not what you would normally expect. Especially while, the reason that silver is exploding, especially nowadays, is because of the metal needed inside of it for all these electronics, etc. In fact, after gold and silver reached their peaks and then begun a sustained descent, collector coins continued to heat up as the 80s progressed, eventually driving common coins like generic graded Morgans to levels they have never seen since. So $100 silver. But and before we jump into this, I do have a question. So, $100 silver is it's not really a question. It's more of just like, it's a statement, but you'll see what I mean. So, $100 silver is a very controversial number and just topic in general. Because you have two sides of the coin, pun intended. You have the people that say silver will never hit $100, right? I just saw Backyard Bullion post a video. He didn't post it recently, but like a year or so ago, he said he made a video talking about why silver will never hit $100. But there is a lot of people that just say that's just not realistic. Now, to me, $100 silver is no different than $50 silver. It really isn't, because if you're talking about inflation, just like back in the day, your grandparents or your parents say, oh, I could get a gallon of gas for 25 cents, right? And nowadays, gas is nowhere near that. And that's because inflation, the purchasing power of the dollar is weakening, so you need more and more dollars to buy the same type of things as you would back in the day. And that same principle is going to apply to silver, right? It's going to take more and more dollars to buy an ounce of silver because of inflation, and that's not even including the other reason why silver is valuable, and the other reason why silver's value is going to keep appreciating. So whether it's $100 or $50, you can't compare silver's value to fiat dollars because there is no correlation, since silver's real money and paper money is fake. So whether it's $1,000 for an ounce of silver, silver's still more valuable. I'm going to be paying, I will still buy $100 of silver because I understand silver's true value, and I also understand the value of the dollar. If you say $100 is too much for an ounce of silver, you really think that a $100 bill is more valuable than what an ounce of silver has inside of it? No, it's not. Now listen, why would we not buy $100 silver, and why would big business buy $100 silver? They need it, we want it. They need it, we want it. Kind of like why the Hunt brothers, when they tried to corner the silver market, the government stepped in. And there is a reason why they stepped in. What would happen if there was a silver shortage and the government, nobody had silver to turn in, to turn these contracts in for physical delivery? I mean, what happened earlier, I just made a video. Someone on the COMEX got rejected physical delivery from their contract they turned in. And that can be good insight of what's about to happen, because silver's scarce again. The reason why the government had to step in with the Hunt brothers and ban silver was because there was a major silver shortage. They only had enough silver to cover 1 month of October's contracts if they turned them in. It's like 100-something thousand ounces, which is scary because, and think about it, the government would never let that happen. They will always step in. They will always ban silver, because what would they do? What could they do if there was just not enough silver? Just say, hey, we can't. That would be devastating, and it would expose a lot more than just a silver shortage. They won't let that happen. And why do they need that to not happen? Well, if you want the newest, latest iPhone, you better hope they don't make it happen. There's a reason. Silver is needed in so many things that actually make the world go round, which is, I guess, if you think about it, more important than just us wanting to hold some silver in our safe, right? They need silver. We want silver. They need silver for these 5G towers, electric vehicles, to make the entire world green, to save the planet. We want silver for our own personal reasons. Producers turn into the consumers turn into the producers. The people like you and I that want the silver are going to be selling it to the people that need the silver. So anyways, but would a run up to $100 spot silver be good for the coin market? And how would we even get to that level? It's clearly one thing when silver goes from $10 to $50, as it did before, and quite another if it would say $100 per ounce or more, perhaps at a time when gold reached $3,000 a level, and that is often predicted to be reached within a matter as a little as a year or several years by gold bugs. And I don't even care about what gold's price does nowadays. If silver hits $100, I think it could do it on its own. Do you see these extremely high premiums for gold prices? Look at the premiums on American Eagle silver coins and look at the premiums for American Eagles on gold coins. Only silver has the high premiums. You want to know why? Because only silver is scarce. Silver usually tracks gold's move, but with a lag. And Keith Newmar of CEO of First Majestic Silver told Kitco September 17th, 2019, however, while gold hit 1900 in 2011, silver reached 50. And that year in April had already declined to about $40 by the time gold peaked. And in recent years, even as gold prices began recovering from their lows around 1100, silver has largely lagged, but some analysts expect it to outperform this year due to rising industrial investment demand. Right, that's where silver is going to take on a life of its own. That's why my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer. That's why my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Guy or Gold Guru. It's because silver has reasons that gold doesn't. So you can't always just compare silver's price to gold and saying, well, gold has to do this for silver to do that, because that's not the case. And for most collectors today, silver coins are where the real action is, especially coins priced at $150 or less. And that's since a few people can afford to buy coins that are more expensive, right? It does make sense. So Jeff Garrett on $100 silver, and I like how they talk about different people's perspectives on $100 silver, because it is very interesting to see what different types of people think. So Jeff Garrett, which is a veteran coin dealer and past president of the ANA, which is American Numismatic Association, he said that a lot of these gold coins are being melted down because the market cannot absorb it all. Anything in less than a choice mint is worth melt or very little above that. I sold some double eagles this week for 99% of melt, so that's interesting. As for the possibility of $100 silver, if silver were to explode to $100 or more, it would have a huge impact on the hobby. There would probably be another numismatic gold rush, similar to 1980 and 2009. Shops would have lines of people cashing in on the boom by selling everything made of precious metals. There would also be a huge market selling to speculators who are likely causing the price explosion, right? That's all the people that have never invested a single penny in their entire life. Everyone's trying to get a slice of the silver pie. So this is interesting. This is really interesting, actually, if you think about when silver, and it is when, not if, when silver hits $100, if this is what's going to happen, things are going to get crazier than we think, because we do have two worlds that are going to be colliding, right? The standard bullion, but also the numismatic coins, the semi-numismatic coins that are also going to be, and these people that are investing, that are the speculative investors that have never invested a single a single dollar in entire life, they don't know the difference between high premiums. They don't know the difference between a panda and an American eagle, or even more. I mean, they're not going to know what junk silver is. It's just silver and gold. And what's silver's price? How much can I get for this coin? How much can I get for this watch? And how much could I get for, it's going to be interesting, especially since real silver stackers know what's up. Real silver stackers know what the price should be doing or what these coins should be going for, but the everyday person doesn't. And that's also why I think there's so many of these coins that just get bought up. So here's a conclusion. Just as there's no way to predict the future price of silver, it is also hard to predict how those spot levels would impact the non-rare side of the coin market, including how they might impact silver coin premiums. Now, we already know some of this, right? As silver gets more scarce, the premiums get higher. There are certain key unknown variables, like the level of physical demand for silver at the time, the available supply of coins, and the state of the economy and coin market, which all help shape outcomes. Overall, $100 silver does not have to be detriment to the coin market, and can in fact be beneficial, nor does it necessarily mean premiums would disappear. As always, the devil is in the details. And I honestly think it would make the premiums rise higher. And I don't think this article is written by the time this was written right around, the situation really starting to kick in. And that's very important, because this was right when, or shortly after, because March, a month later is when silver, the gold, silver hit $11, when the gold to silver ratio was 125 to 1, was March 2020. This is February, so shortly after this article was written. And after that was when the premiums, right, when silver started to outperform gold from March 2020 till now. That's while the premiums of these American Eagles started rising. So they were talking about what would happen, and right after this article was written, what they were talking about has started to happen, and now we can look at it from a past point of perspective and saying, yes, as silver is more scarce, as demand peaks, the premiums for standard bullion coins will start looking like these numismatic coins, or these semi-numismatic coins, or the high premium silver that we think would also be rising. So things are definitely flipped. The markets are changing, and we just have to adjust with it. But anyways, like I was saying, when silver hits $100, one, do you think silver will hit $100? And two, are you still going to buy it? I would love for you to answer that. Love when you guys and gals participate in the comment section. It makes the video that much better. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. My next video will be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. This was Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.